I've been called a BS expert.
Yeah.
I am a organic nutrient relocator.
I
You
like
smell
that
what
tag.
I'm stepping in?
Yeah, I like that. That was good.
There's not really a reason to look at owning the equipment when you can make a phone call and schedule in somebody that's going to bring in good quality equipment and do a good job.
Look, I always said from the first time I started farming, soil conservation is your best friend. He's the next best friend.
I started in the application business in 2000, and there we did all surface spreading. And at that time, there was a few chisel shanks. Since then, with going with the Coulter style, it just works really well with the no-till. So it really advanced a lot in the last 20 years.
This coulter, the injector's set up on a 30-inch row spacing. And as you can see, we've got a fluted coulter. That's on a 15-degree angle.
Okay.
And the manure comes out of the distributor box and it's placed in the ground, and then you have a rolling coulter that covers the manure up.
Anything under 20 acres you'd want to do with a tank. We can travel to any size field, a large variety of fields and shapes. You know, with tank, you're flexible. If you get rain in an area, you can move to another area. With the tank injector, it's 16 feet wide, and you have to go back to the pit to fill up. So that's the biggest disadvantage there. With the dragline, you're always pumping, but there's a need for both. With the dragline system, you can pump right from the storage to the field. We can go up to 2.5 miles. We have 8-inch hose and 6-inch hose. You get less compaction. It's easier with our no-till system. With cropping, you can get a lot done with a dragline system. The unit's 3 times as wide, and if you got a large volume to move, it's constant flow, one-way travel to the field. It works well on the large farms. It's about the size of a 12-row corn planter. It's 36 feet, but it folds up to 12. It works well in a 40-acre field versus a 4-acre field. That's where the tank injector comes in. With dragline, 2 miles of hose takes you half a day to set up, and it rains. It's not very easy to move. Once you're set up, you're basically staying there till the job's done. To pump that manure to the fields you need to, there could be certain hurdles in there, neighbors' farms, roads, railroads. Some of those you wouldn't be able to dragline. State roads, there's permits you can get and bore line, and that works really well. In the event that you wouldn't be able to reach the field from the storage, we can dragline out of that nurse tank. It's a temporary storage that holds about 20,000 gallon.
What we like about them is on these farms with the narrow roads, we can get the road tractor up and down the road a little safer. It's definitely speeding up our production, possibly by about 25%. One reason that we really like this unit for rocks is it's got a spring suspension in the front. It does have just a little bit of give. It's got about 2 inches of travel that it'll roll up over a rock.
We're able to get usually 1,500 acres on a set of blades. We have 30,000 acres through these units, and they've held up very well. You'd need at least 300 horsepower with either unit, the tank or the dragline.
This is a little bigger tire. This is a super softy radial. The tank will literally follow the tracks of the tractor. Our main goal is as few pounds per square inch as possible.
So heaven forbid a piece of wood or something gets stopped in our manure pit, it gets hung up here, Lewis?
That's correct. It'll get hung up here, which you can lower the machine on the ground. It's got your wing nuts, and you take the top of the distributor off. You go in with a bare hand and you come out with a piece of wood. So that's part of the challenges that we face with injecting manure.
Versus broadcasting,
That's
you would have
correct.
spit it out.
That's right.
Ideally, all farms should move towards separated manure, but with this unit here and this manifold, we can apply pretty thick material and even sand. If there would be large debris, it can be discharged right out the back into the field, and it doesn't have to go through these tubes. And that's why we don't stand behind our work.